So you've been in three bands. What would you say? Would you say that each have taught you something different?
Ooh, wow. Good question. I think naturally, yeah, for like so many different things. Um, they were all at such different ages and different times in my life that I think there's so much learning to be done. And I mean, how can you not learn different things when you're like 8 years old and then, I'm learning first just like how to even step onto stage and do that at all and communicate with other people musically. And then, I started touring for the first time in the second one and writing so much more. And yeah, and then now obviously there's just so many things that come from doing it at, like kind of professionally, and that being my job. So it's crazy.
I can imagine. What was it like for you touring at such a young age?
It was wild. It was really fun. I was really lucky that my dad was willing to tour manage us. So honestly, that was really safe feeling and comfortable. And I'm just so lucky I had that. I don't think I could do it without him.
That's awesome that you were able to have your dad there. Across the
Totally.
three albums that you've made with the Regrets specifically, what production process stuck out to you the most? Like, what was your favorite album to make?
Mm. This last album was really special just because it was so different. Um, I had a lot of fun letting go of a lot of rules, I think, in the past we had kind of given ourselves. But I don't really have a favorite because, again, they've been just such different times in life where it's hard to choose a favorite. But I'd say that I learned, I learned a lot through this recording this last one.
Would you say that your writing process has developed over time specifically?
100%. I think my ability to co-write and just let other songwriters in has really improved. And um, also just learning how to navigate that and navigate writing with other people when I'm trying to tell a really personal story. It takes a while to find a balance and find a way to make that work. And I
Right,
feel like now I've sort of gotten it down um, better than I have before.
right, that makes sense. Would you say that you prefer writing collaboratively versus solo at this point?
I think it's like it's hard because it's kind of fluid where a lot of my songwriting now is stuff that I start on my own and then we'll take into a room with the band or with another songwriter or whatever with other people. And so now it kind of takes a lot of the pressure off when I'm writing alone, where I'm not sitting there being like, okay, I gotta finish this now and I want to finish this now. It's like I can start ideas in a different way, whether I come back to them with other people or myself. So it kind of works in more of a fluid way.
Your newest album, Further Joy, was very impacted by the pandemic. Would you say that that affected your connection with the band and the creative process for that album?
Yeah, I mean, naturally, I think it pushed us to be more intentional with each other when we needed to bond creatively, like as a group, because it wasn't just a natural occurrence since we weren't seeing each other. So we took a trip to Joshua Tree to really talk about the album and write some missing pieces of the album and just connect in a different way. And I think that taught me a lot about being intentional with each other. And, um, it's so easy with any relationship when you're in a routine and you get pulled out to be like, wait, what? Like we have to really put in more work than we thought. But I mean, it's like family.
Yeah, for sure. Would you say that going out to Joshua Tree and sort of getting that change of scenery inspired a lot of the music? What was that like for you?
It inspired a lot of where we took the music because a lot of the songs were written, but the approach to them was really before we went into record, definitely inspired by the kinds of music we listened to and in that on that trip and the visuals we kind of brainstormed and just the path we really wanted to take with it.
Right. Kind of transitioning into talking about your newer music, you just released the music video for Dancing on My Own. What was it like getting to feature fans in the music video?
It was so fun. It's something I knew I wanted to do pretty early on to recording that song, just because I feel like the song lends itself to that so well, and it's something I've seen other
Mm,
artists do, and think it's so sweet and always warms my heart watching. Um, and yeah, it's really special that we get to even have people who want to participate and do that. Like it's so cool.
for sure. Do you have any fan experiences that stick out to you or that have stuck with you?
Mm, there's a lot, but I think I have a lot of memories of conversations I've had with fans after shows about certain songs and when the song helped them in their lives and, just people getting really vulnerable with me. And that it feels important. All of a sudden, like our music feels important in ways that it's hard to remember it can be for people.
Yeah, that makes sense. You also mentioned vulnerability, and I think that your vulnerability in the music somewhat inspires fans to be vulnerable as well. How has it
Yeah.
been opening up about your sexuality in your writing, especially more recently?
Yeah. It feels good. I mean, it's definitely funny. You don't expect any like sort of hate surrounding that. And there was definitely some criticism I felt at the beginning of coming out or making music about women and having a very, like a public, straight, monogamous relationship. Um,
Right,
but overall, it feels really good. I feel like it just feels freeing to be able to connect in that way.
right. Do you think that it's given you more freedom in your creative process as well moving forward?
Definitely. Just because that door's been open. So now there's room for me to kind of explore writing about all sorts of things.
That makes sense. I'm kind of transitioning to talking about touring. What do you like about touring specifically, that's unique compared to recording?
Oh gosh, it's all so different from recording, but I feel like just the pace and I think I mean, just playing live, like playing and connecting with people. You're not doing that when you're recording. You're imagining doing it, but there's nothing that really beats that
Right?
connection on stage.
Do you feel like that connection is therapeutic for you as an artist?
Definitely, hugely. I think that it's kind of that moment I was talking about before of people connecting to your songs. Like that happens in such an intense way on stage. It's such a insane high that I feel when we play. It's really honestly like out of body and it's it just takes me out of my head in a way that it's hard for me to do in real life.
right? How would you say you balance having vulnerability in your writing and your music versus what you want to keep to yourself and kind of maintaining that balance?
I don't really. Um, I think I try to, sometimes I'll write a lyric and I'll, be like, guys, is this too much? And I have honest people around me to be like, yeah, I don't think you'd wanna, maybe we don't go there. Um, so I definitely try to reel it in. Sometimes if it's gonna cause damage, like in an intent, I don't know.
Okay.
But overall, I'm pretty down to be honest and out of pocket.
Would you say that the music videos are an extension of that storytelling for you?
I try. Yeah, definitely. I really try to be as intentional with music videos as possible. Um, and it's just such a cool thing that we get to do. Such a cool way we get to express ourselves after making the song.
Right. Have you had any newer inspirations for new music that you might be working on or anything like that?
Definitely. I'm really inspired by Dijon, really inspired by always Taylor Swift, but especially right now. Um, The Clash a lot right now. The Replacements. I don't know. I'm a lot of like artists who are brave enough to approach things really simply.
Hmm. Are you excited for Speak Now Taylor's version?
Yes, I am so excited.
Nice. So going back to talking about touring a little bit, you're currently touring with Youngblood. What has it been like starting that leg of tour? I know there was only one show so far.
We actually didn't do the Youngblood show yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Um, but I am so excited. I think it's just such a fun, different crowd for us. And
Mm,
I'm excited about, there's something always really fun doing a support tour just because it's less pressure and I don't know, it's just always different.
right. What have been some of your favorite collaborative experiences with tours and also working with other artists outside of the band?
I think when we opened for 21 Pilots in Europe, that was 100% one of the coolest things I've ever gotten to do. Um, it was just magical, a really special, hard, brutal, and incredible tour.
Awesome. Do you have any crazy tour stories or memories that stick out to you on tour?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, the big one was we were touring in Europe and all of our van got stolen.
Oh no.
So our like all of our personal belongings were in it. So all my makeup and my computer and even my passport, clothes, everything gone. And that was so wild. It really doesn't feel real. But I'm really grateful that it happened because I just think it adds a new layer to really being able to appreciate all like just safety and um, each other over anything else because we were
Right.
stripped away of all our material stuff. And as hard as it was, we were okay. And yeah, it was a lot.
I can imagine. What is it like for you to stay grounded during tour and kind of keep your energy up and protected?
Yeah, you have to really be intentional about it. Um, I don't really drink on tour. It's very rare. I try to create routines that protect myself and um, we're already like talking this tour coming up about ways we're always just trying to improve and help each other and grow in terms of self-care. So we're wanting to warm up together and stretch and meditate. I definitely am going to be meditating this tour. There's all kinds of different things that it always is changing. Eating foods that make me feel good is always important, though.
Do you feel that doing those certain things together, like meditating, has helped your connection with the band grow stronger over time?
I mean, we haven't meditated together before, but just different routines that we try and having open communication around what works has definitely helped. Yeah.
That's awesome. You talked about having a more collaborative writing experience with the group. What has it been like sort of throwing those ideas around, and where does that process kind of begin for you?
Um, I would say it begins in a lot of places that I don't expect it. Like, I will be going on a walk and have a melody or a lyric, and a lot of times I'll take it in later with the band or whoever, and that just sort of feels like pulling a string of a sweater that has been waiting to come undone. Um, or I'll be in the shower or having a conversation and take out my phone and look like a crazy person and start making voice memos, but it's always in really bizarre, I don't know. I just try to let it happen whenever.
Do you feel like that sort of pulling the thread on the sweater comes fully undone while performing the songs together?
Hmm. Yeah, that feels like the final kind of piece. Definitely.
That makes sense. I only have time for one more question, but I just wanted to say, what are you looking forward to most with creating new music and going on this new tour?
Ooh. I I just am so excited for the shows. Like honestly, I'm just so excited I mean, playing music about my life, even though it can be hard sometimes, it really is therapeutic. And doing that with my best friends on stage. Like this all sounds cheesy, but it's just the truth. There is no cooler thing. And it's been too long.